Tables 12-118 talks about termination and splicing of conductors and taking the proper precautions in order to make sure that that happens. Here you can see I have a 125 amp panel. You can also see that I have my service is going to come from the actual top. It's a 2-inch PVC conduit that's coming from the top. That's normally how you would do your service in a residential home or a commercial home. If it's underground service, you'll normally see it come up from the underground. Obviously, using the proper material. Again, this is just a panel that's going to be mounted inside of the home. When it's outdoor work, here in Ontario, Canada, we use meter bases, and what we do is we will mount the meter base on the outside, and that is going to give the hydro how much power is going to be drawn from the meter itself. So in this situation, perfect bends has to be made simply by just making a form of an 45 or something like that. That works also when it comes to bending your cables. Again, you have to take the proper precautions. Also, you have to remember that when you are running your cables, you want to make sure that inside of this compartment here, your cables are all the way back. Obviously, when you do go to install your panel cover, you want to make sure that nothing is going to be touching here when it comes to the panel cover. So once you're going to be finishing with the main compartment, obviously you can see the white conductor, you can see it's bent, and it goes on to the actual neutral bar itself. This is the neutral bar. The green cable here simply is basically for the the underground ground plate, we call it. It's a bonding conductor in this case. Again, straight out of the OESC code book. Bonding conductor comes in from the actual underground ground plate, comes into your home, and this is where it's going to sit inside of the compartment. Comes from the top of the actual panel itself, comes in from the top, and it lands inside of the neutral bar. Other situations, you can also come in from the side. If you do come in from the side, it has to be at this entrance point of entry. You cannot enter onto here and go up into the panel like that. So very important when it comes to doing the service. Also making sure that you stay within the rules 12-118 of the OESC 2024 code book, keeping the protection of your cables and so on, making sure that the cables are not damaged in any way or shape or form. Also putting a little bit of tie wrap on here to keep your wires perfectly bent is another idea, and also having a perfect bend. If you have a cable like this, again, this is a 2-aught. This is 4-aught cable, and you can see it's aluminum, and it's a little bit tougher to bend. So in order, if you wanted a perfect bend at the panel, you can simply twist your cable like this. Gives you a little bit more extra. Also, if you want to support it, you can simply place your tie wraps over it, clip it down, and that will give you a perfect bend inside of the panel, obviously leaving you a little bit more extra space in the panel. you need more extra space. Reason why you need extra space is because if you are going to be doing a swap out of a panel, upgrade of a panel, and you are using the same cable, for instance, or if you're doing a swap out for swap out and you're using the same cable, you want to make sure you have a little bit of extra cable. That way you can play around with it once you come to install it instead of the new panel. Again, this is a 125 amp panel, and this is the way how you go about installing a normal 125 amp panel with a ground plate placed on the outside. Also identifying your unidentified conductor, which is the white cable. It is a black cable. In order to identify it, the code book states that we have to use white tape. Straight out of the code book, in order to identify your cable, you need to use the white tape.